Naturally, all Americans have to do is read the info manual and they become immediate experts in driving such a thing, so we're going to steal one. But first we have to get through several streets of snipers, and I promise you're going to hate this. Some of the snipers are easy, and if you remember where they were, it's even easier to take them out on your 150th restart. But there's one that I just could not find. I finally gave up and looked up a walkthrough. He's on a roof behind that one huge tree that we kept looking at. Now, at one point I was down on the ground and crouched behind a big bush in addition to the tree, and he still killed me until I was dead. If you go to GameFAQs to see how to do this, use the 4th walkthrough. It's the only one that actually gives you the right angle to get this guy. Sadly, that's not the only one you might have to look up. These guys are tucked away in some weird places, and it's going to take you a bunch of tries to get past them. My best advice is, save early, save often. That's it. Beyond that, try not to curse too much. I don't know why, just try not to. I know you'll really be tempted about the 4th time this happens. I've heard of spontaneous generation, but I thought that was only with flies or something. Eventually, you get to where you were going, which is finding a bazooka. Then you move on to meet up with the tank crew that's supposed to help you steal the King Tiger. To do that, you have to accomplish 2 objectives. Going through that little tunnel was one. Going up the stairs was another. I can see why they give out medals for this stuff.
You wiped your nose after you sneezed all by yourself. I present to you this medal of accomplishment.
You meet the tank crew, and what do you know? Here comes a tank. Is it the one we're supposed to use? I guess not. Time for the bazooka. So now you're supposed to keep the tank crew alive and take them to where you're going to get the new super tank. Unfortunately, that means more snipers as well as troops here and there. Again, we're dealing with enemies who can see in the dark, see through walls and smoke and trees, and see between the bars on a zebra, and shoot Roosevelt's eye out on a dime from a mile away. I don't know why, but we quit playing fair a couple of levels ago. We also seem to be getting sloppy about our hit detection. Did I get him? There's his feet sticking through the wall, so I guess the answer is yes. I don't know if there were some personnel changes, or if the programmers and testers just got tired, or what, but it's rapidly ceasing to be fun. I'll do my best to stick it out to the end, but at this rate it isn't going to be easy. More obscure snipers. Expect some members of your tank crew to get killed, and expect to have to start over a few times because "stay behind me" isn't in these guys' vocabulary. And the obscurity of some of the snipers is just, well, stupid. You finally get them to City Hall, fight your way through it, and get to the tank. So now what? Start blowing stuff up, obviously. The briefing warned you about other tanks, Panzer Shreks, and 88s. It didn't warn you that foot soldiers with their little pop guns would do as much damage as anything else. This is their new super duper change the world tank, and a few guys with submachine guns and bolt action rifles can destroy it in 5 minutes. Hey guys, zurück ans Reißbrett! The cannon is a terror to behold too, especially for the guys on the ground. So those shells have a blast radius about this big around. No wonder they've been trying to keep this mighty weapon a secret. If this doesn't win the war for them, nothing will. Oh, right. Moving on, you encounter 88s, more tanks, usual stuff. Go slow and check your corners, and it's not hard to get through. The worst part is the running commentary. I know. I know! If you don't shut up right now, I'm turning this tank right around and going home. It's hard enough doing this with hidden enemies, multiple tanks, and all the rest without him gabbing his fool head off. At least you can blow a tank up with one shot most of the time, and that takes care of that. What? Blow the tank to smithereens, it's sitting there in pieces, burning, and the crew gets out and walks away. No, not really. These guys don't walk. They dance. You see that a lot in this game. Here's a few examples. The best part is blowing up buildings. It's funny how these shells can do this, but can't take out one of these from more than a foot away. Of course, that happens when the shell goes right through him. You do eventually get away with this whiz-bang tank that's made of paper and shoots water balloons. Now you're out of the tank and you have to do some more sniping. So you have to stop the Germans from pushing the plunger to blow up the bridge. That shouldn't be too difficult.
Lieutenant, you will fail your mission if that bridge is destroyed.
After a little bit of that, the enemy tanks come along and you have to use binoculars to target them for your artillery.
This is Alpha Zulu standing by. Got it. Coordinates have been received. This is Alpha Zulu.
A few minutes of that and you're done. Now it's on to a totally different task. Schmerzen. Sounds like a swear word. Schmerzen! Or maybe a dance. That's the dance these guys are doing. Suddenly it makes sense. So you're in the woods on a snowy evening dealing with snipers, flat guns, and more dancing soldiers. Your immediate task is to take out the flak guns. The first one is easy to find, the next one not so much. And as usual, the bad guys start shooting you long before you can see them. There are no muzzle flashes. They can shoot you through trees and rocks and everything else, and it's a royal pain in the butt. This is the final mission of the game, so it seems we're going out of our way to make it as impossible as possible. This forest section is a headache. As before, save early, save often, get through it any way you can, and once you get through it, sift through your saves and skip it if you decide to play this game again. Once you finally get past all that nonsense, you're supposed to infiltrate a German compound where they're developing the new STG-44 assault rifle. Your tasks are steal the plans, steal one of the rifles, and blow their storage to bits. To help you with this, you get a German officer's uniform. Put your gun away and you can wander around the place undetected, right? What? I wasn't doing anything. I snuck in the place, got the uniform, and came out dressed as a German officer. That's it. These guys should be saluting, not shooting. Nice, effective disguise. Thanks, guys. Okay, so I didn't have any papers, but those guys didn't ask for any. Further on, the papers work, for a while. Now what? Of course, you get past all that and into the area where the weapons are. Set the bomb and come on out. But these guys have you figured out. Hear that alarm? Go to the red handle on the wall and turn it off. Why? Because those guys will just keep spawning spontaneously until you do. Plus it's annoying. Your next task is to exfiltrate. That's military's for get the hell out of there. But there's no time to rest because now you've actually made it to the place you're going, I guess. Then again, not. You have to take down their communications so they can't call for help. I don't know why they'd bother. They can just have more soldiers appear out of thin air anyway. But that's what the boss says to do, so that's what you're going to do. First, you have to get into the town. That wasn't too hard, so I'll just... Seriously? He's just walking around in the same gloom I'm in, but somehow he could tell I'm an American and not that other guy who was just patrolling. You know, part of playing fair is playing believable, and this just isn't. It's like they ripped off the worst parts of the original Hidden and Dangerous. That's possible because this came out a few years after that one and a year or so before the much improved Hidden and Dangerous 2. I don't actually know if there's any connection between the two game series, but it sure feels like it. Eventually, you get through the arch into the town, and then you have to move carefully to try and avoid detection while getting to the compound where the communication stuff is. Your convenient compass shows you where it is. Unfortunately, it doesn't tell you how to get there. Notice the situation. You can take out the guards, but it might set off an alarm. That's okay, there's a switch in this building to turn it off. I think I understand why this game got so hard. Somehow I got possessed by a ghost and he's just following me around undoing all the stuff I do and telling the Germans where I am. Gotta get rid of that thing. Okay, that should do it. You can take most of the rest of them out fairly quietly, but there's a gate down there that won't open. You have to go way around a block or so to the right, across a bridge crawling with guards, and then make your way in past another ghost. What the hell happened? This game was doing great. I was really excited. But here toward the end, we're reduced to this.
And that's just really sad.
You get in and plant the explosives. When you've planted the sixth one, you have a whopping 10 seconds to get out of the place. That didn't work. Neither did that. Okay, I gotta wait, and I'll just turn this alarm off and find my way out of this mess. Klinger, you did it wrong. The damn ghost is still there. I'll be brutally honest. I really want to finish this game. I've played several other Medal of Honor games and I want to like them. But this sure isn't making it easy. I'm really tired of this. So how do we get out of this? And by the way, do you like where the save point was? Not before you set the last bomb, not after you get out, but right as the timer starts counting down. Seriously, the quality of this game just keeps getting worse and worse as we go along. It's like the developers got really tired about halfway through the project and just started saying, whatever. So as it turns out, the alarm is on for good and stealth went out the window. Now it's a running firefight to get to your exit point. You're heading for the Commandant's office because that's your way out. Why? Because the game says so. So, as we like to say here, just go with it. In his office, you're supposed to jump out the window. Looking for that stealth that went there, I guess. So here we go. Jump out. Maybe I need to crouch first. Nope, that didn't work. Stand up, try again. More soldiers. Why did I see that coming? Take them out. Okay, all quiet, try the window again. This time it worked. I'm not asking, I'm just glad I'm past that. You jump through the window into some kind of park. Naturally, the Germans are patrolling here, and they have these. You'll get tired of that real quick in this segment. Every time you blink, there's another damn dog. But making your way past soldiers and dogs and even a speeding train, you get to the station. You couldn't see the snipers in that clip, but I could see them on my computer screen because the color setting on my computer is better than what the adapter to my DVR is. So I used that to find these guys and take them out. Your mileage may vary. That's how it goes with a PC game. Now you have to turn off the juice to the electrified fences around this place so your pals can get in. Why can't they go in the same way you did? How should I know? The game says so. The colonel says so. Your mother says so. Whatever works for you. It's searchlight dodging time. You can try shooting him if you like seeing this. I don't. If you do, more power to you. Get in this building and turn off the power to the fences. Now you're supposed to send a fake message to make a particular train stop at this station. When it does, your team will take it over. After that, we do some other stuff. Where do I go to send this message? Back the way I came, trying to get past the searchlights again. I did discover one cool thing. If I'm in a position where I'm hidden from all the other towers, I can take out some of the gunners and have a clear path part of the way. When I first came in here, I tried the door in the front of this building and it was locked. Naturally, it's open now, so I can just waltz right in. Or schmearskooven right in. It's pretty basic. Take out some soldiers and a dog, find your way to the right room, and send the message. Mission complete. Next. So now we're storming Schmerzen. We're going in guns blazing, so that means take out the tower snipers quick. Find your way in using the plans that Patterson found earlier. Who's Patterson? And when did he find these plans? I thought I did that. Whatever. I like this last paragraph. Best of luck to you and your team, pal. No matter what happens, I consider myself honored and privileged to have served with you. It is especially honoring for me since no matter what happens does not include the prospect of me getting killed, only you. No, I better not say that. Start over. Notice that the Rangers are dropping like flies. This is because that is their job and there is nothing you can do about it. You have to shoot multiple snipers in each of those windows. They keep spawning until you've dealt with about 4 at each spot. And that's not counting the actual towers, of which there are 2. The Colonel told you about the towers. He didn't tell you about the huge bunkers with windows that hold dozens of enemies each. Again, thanks a lot. I got through this part with 2 Rangers left, and apparently that was enough to let me move on and not have to start over. It'd be nice to keep them all alive. It might even get me a medal. But again, they don't wait for you to take out the snipers. They just go charging into a hail of bullets. So it's probably just as well these guys don't get any further chances to reproduce. Once you've taken out all the snipers, you're supposed to go release any prisoners they're holding at this place.
The prisoners! Over there! Fire!
Yeah, right. After you deal with more spontaneous generation of bad guys with guns. Fight your way in here and the compass says your objective is through this big door. Yet another new wrinkle. Well, we're almost done. I hope. I think. You never know with this game. Our main task is to get inside and blow this place up, but the way this thing goes, we might have to divert to the bathroom where we sit and memorize the Schmerzen phone book or something. I can appreciate wanting to make as long a game as possible so the player gets their money's worth, but the best games will do that seamlessly and find a way to integrate side missions and stuff into the main objective. This game has tried to do that, but it hasn't really been successful. And it keeps introducing new rule changes like this one. I don't know why. But let's keep going and see if we can get it over with. We're inside the secret compound. First we get a gas mask because it's going to get nasty further on. Then we get to where the actual weapons factory is. Of course there are guards here, but we can shoot them. That's been happening all through the game. An enemy goes down and a hail of your bullets kerplop down like a bag of rocks. Seconds pass. You're getting shot from behind. How? He got back up. Look, I know all this stuff is based on hit points and health points and all that. But if you're going to have a guy go down stone cold like that, but still hold out a couple of points and he can get back up, you'd better do like a fantasy game and put the number over his head so the player knows he's not finished yet and knows to do this. And stay down. Past a few more enemies and we reach our goal. We prep the room. And get ready to party. Whoa, 30 seconds to get to the elevator. Okay, where the heck is it? When you get to the elevator, you hit the switch and start up. What you couldn't see there, I had to hit the key 3 times to get it to respond. That's another way the game has been going downhill. Response to the controls gets slower and slower. And it's a major problem, especially in this last sequence where all you can do is run like hell and try to avoid random explosions everywhere. Plus lunatic soldiers who don't have the good sense to run like hell and try to avoid random explosions everywhere. The elevator gets to the top and of course there's a bunch of guys there to shoot you. It's basic run and gun from here on out. You fight your way to one of those crank open doors and then have to dash outside. How the heck do I do this? Germans in front of me, fire behind me. I actually went back to a previous save point and did part of it again so I'd have better health going into this part. That seemed to help. The compass says this is where I go, so I should be done. I'm here. Hello? What is going on here? I am not exaggerating. I made it to the train 5 times and nothing happened except that the Germans kept shooting at me and killing me. I finally got desperate and just to see what might be supposed to happen, I did this. Yes, I turned on an invincibility cheat, mostly so I could just see something. Without it, the combination of the explosions and the enemy fire hitting me all over the place screwed up vision so bad I couldn't figure out what was even happening. And now the good guys open the door to the train. Huh? Was I supposed to take out a certain number of soldiers or something before they do that? I have no idea. Unlike the stupid God mode in Half-Life 2, this one doesn't stay on forever and ever amen. Reload a save point and it's off. I like that. So I tried a few variations on getting out of here with it off. You know what? Never mind. I got to the open train car and got to hear the immortal last line of the game.
Would you look at that?
That's it. Would you look at that? I've seen enough of it for one day, thank you. So on top of everything else, the ending just falls flat. At least you can skip the credits. I've done a lot of griping about this game, and in many ways it thoroughly violates Irving's first rule. Play fair. It definitely doesn't do that in a lot of places. The rendition of Manon, the only woman in the whole story, makes her look like the missing link. The way the enemies dance across the screen makes me want to put them in tutus. It takes way too many shots from a high-powered machine gun or rifle to take them down, and half the time when you do take them down, they get back up. It's pretty absurd. The looping music gets old real quick. And yet, I have to admit, when I wasn't screaming obscenities at it for the unfair play or confusing directions, I loved this. The action is excellent. The sound is top-notch. The variety of weapons keeps things interesting, and the health system is really fair for the most part. The timed missions, like having 30 seconds to get to the elevator or 120 seconds to get to the train, are a nice little twist that really challenges my thinking. The series definitely shows promise. As long as you're aware of the quirks and don't mind restarting 180 kabillion times, it really is a lot of fun. And like a good early series game, it has add-ons. Next time we'll take a look at one of them. Until then, I'm Irving and I have no life, just like you. I guess I'll follow my pointer and find out. The first few, not first few, a rifle to take them down, and half the time when you do that, they crash you. Nothing like a nice little typo. That's my explanation, and I'm sticking with it.